Hey guys, it's Normalisk again, and you will notice that I have a replay bar. What does that mean for you guys? It means that I played a decent game that I was not recording at the time, and there's still a lot to be taken away from it. And I actually made a list this time, so that I don't say the same things over and over, like in my Queen/base management video. And so yeah, this is a ZVT. As you will see, I will quickly take his vision off so that you can see what I do when I do it to the close as possible to a live cast, but this one was not a live cast, just so you guys don't call me out on it. I know that it's a replay. This isn't going to be a common thing. It's just I found the perfect example of how to stop a tank timing push, actually. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit to when I actually do scout. And it's an extremely late scout because I think I fast expand this one. Something I should know. Yep, I fast expand on this game, which in itself is a risk. You just gotta have Overlord spotting and be ready to pull your drones. You don't need to know where he is, even though I do have a scouting drone here. There's an SCV doing shenanigans up there, so I took him out. A Marine killed my drone up here, so I know that he's here, and that's all I know so far. But I did see 2 Marines, so I made 1 spine crawler right here so that he can't just run by into my main. And I made a decent amount of Zerglings. How many do I have? I don't know my hotkeys. Where's army? It's A. Of course it's A. So I have, what is that? 8? Yeah, 8 Zerglings. They're not speedlings yet because I don't have gas. But for right now I'm just droning up. Pretty soon I'm going to be sending my Zerglings to take both these towers and his ramp, so that I know if and when he does move out, and I can also poke up and see if and when he is expanding then at that point. So there they go. These, I'm going to pause it really quick. These Zelnaga towers are very important for this map, because if you control both of them, you will be able to see when he moves out with a ground army, because he has to go either here, through the middle, or along here. So if you control both of these, and if you put resources into controlling both of those, you won't have that, oh surprise, tanks are right here feeling, and you don't have any larvae to make anything to defend with. So I would highly recommend putting resources into controlling these towers, and if he is doing the same, that can be a tell also. If he sends a bunch of, I don't know, a bunch of Vikings or his scouting Reaper to control this tower, it could mean like a fast Banshee play or something. He does not want you to see that coming on its way. So that's just another little tidbit. So here, I run up his ramp, I see a tank, and it's not sieged up. And I see Marines in a forward position. They're not just being massed over here. They're by the tank. They look like they're ready to do something. So I keep these towers, and that's a relatively fast tank. Not the fastest, and you can also assume that he's expanding, which should make you feel a little bit better, and you can drone up a little bit harder if you do feel that he's expanding. But the fact that I saw a tank at like the 6, possibly even the 6-minute mark, means that he's going to be coming with a tank or 2 and probably just a bunch of Marines. So I immediately made a baneling nest and started my ling speed. He took the tower with 1 Marine, so I'm going to take it. But then I see his tank timing, and see, that's another tell. If he takes a tower, he's probably trying to move out and he doesn't want you to see it. So he's on his way. We can see that it's just 1 tank and 1 Marine. Oh, in that group. There's more over here. It's basically just a one tank with reinforcements on their way, and I can actually see that with the speedling. So in response, I made the only thing I could, Zerglings and banelings. And here is where you need to stay calm. He's elevatoring up his marines to the high ground in his medevac, as well as using this to spot the high ground for his tank. Something that you need to do at some point in this battle is focus down this medevac. I can't stress this enough, because that's the only reason that this tank can attack, and the tank is the only real threat. I mean, I have 4 banelings and 10 speedlings running at these 6 marines. That's not a problem. It's this tank that would just... You'll see how well this tank does in a second here. Here we go. So I'm running in too many marines. I can't just run straight into that. These banelings come so close to connecting because I ran in with my speedlings and had them take siege tank damage while my banelings ran at his marines. But I think he actually saves a bunch of them in the medevac, which is a very good play on his part. Look at that. Oh man, saves all but one. What a play. So now he's content with focusing down this hatchery, and I actually pulled my drones. Since the siege tanks are in range of your drones, you don't want to just have them be killed, and you have income from here, and in these attacks you're going to be floating a lot of minerals, so you're not going to be able to spend it anyway. So just pull your drones. Don't risk having these 12 drones die. I don't know why that's an SCV symbol. I think that's funny. But he's focusing down my hatchery, which I can handle that. I have 3 queens at this point with a couple transfuses. So what I'm going to do is just keep transfusing this hatchery and try not to lose it. But even if you do lose it, he's investing so much in this attack. He actually doesn't have an expansion. He has one on its way. He doesn't have the SCV count. What are we up to? 36 to 23. He's investing so much into this attack that even if he kills this hatchery, if he doesn't kill me in this attack, the game is pretty much over. A good Terran can come back every once in a while from a failed push like this, but it's very rare. So he's focusing down my hatchery. He's going to poke in with his marines and attack it. See, I don't even have speed yet. I don't even have Zergling speed. So right here, I took my queens in first so that they can tank the tanks. So that they can tank the siege tank shots, because they actually do pretty well against that. They are not light, or armored rather. The tank shells do extra against armored. Queens are psionic, they're not armored. So this is another good reason to have at least 3 queens. Not only can you spread creep more effectively with 3 queens, but when these pushes come, it's good to have some kind of a beefy unit with 175 health that can heal itself. You know, I could heal this one, I think I do, while your Zerglings run in and take out the marines. And at the same time, this is what I was talking about. The queens are focusing down this medevac because it's what's giving the tanks vision of this high ground. So push the medevac back because he does not want to lose that. Keep attacking the medevac. And now that he picked up with all of his marines and the tanks are attacking my queens, I ran by with a group of speedlings. Not many, there's 13 here, to take out these 2 tanks. Look at that one has 21 kills and this one has 0. So the speedlings are taking out the tanks. My queens were pushing the medevac away. It almost killed it. And I didn't lose my hatchery. I didn't lose too many workers either. The reason that this push was so well defended is because I had control of these towers. I saw them push out. I saw him reinforcing with tanks, so I knew not to drone up until it was absolutely done. I had 3 queens to push away this medevac, and I had decent Zergling micro as far as moving into the tanks at the right time while they were attacking the queens. That's going to be a big part of this defense strategy. And then I poke in to try to do some counter damage, because sometimes, not this time because he wasn't expanding, but if he had expanded and he was expanding behind his pressure and all he was doing is SCVing up the whole time, you can actually do a lot of damage with 12 or so speedlings if he has no units to defend against them. And a full wall on this map at this point in time is unrealistic. It turns out he's not expanding until now, but if he was just going straight economy, this would have done a lot of damage, and I could flood in more. Like run in, see that he does not have an army, run out, morph all of these into banelings, and reinforce with all of these speedlings, and the game would be over.